Welcome back. Today we're going to build the teeth. We're going to get the teeth going. There are loads and loads of teeth tutorials, or teeth-torials, as they are known to those who like to have fun with words, all over the internet. And you can find your own if you want to make it your own. You might not even need something that opens its mouth, but we're going to have teeth in our model's head. So we're going to make some teeth. And the tutorial that we reference comes from Tomcat. We're going to go super, super slow, as we always do, and that's totally fine. If you want to go at a faster pace, by all means, check out that channel, check out that artist, watch that tutorial. That is an artist you want to support, we want to support, and make you aware of, because it's just really an absolutely stellar educational resource. So, link to that in the description. And without adieu, A-D-I-E-U, say the Frenchman, let's dive in. So first, let's split screen, okay? And all I did right there, again, to split screen, see how I have the arrow right here? If I just go up, eventually you're going to see crosshairs, and that I can click and drag over, and now it goes away. Same thing up here. I can click up and to the right and drag it to the right. I can drag down as well. Blender's awesome like that, okay? So I'm just going to click and drag to the right to create two screens. I'm going to hide these tools quickly with N and T. And then in this one, I'm going to do I'm going to hit Control Numpad 3 to go into this side view, because watch what happens when I remove my mirror modifier. I can see inside the head. Okay, so this is like a perfect broadside view. Into the side of the head. I don't know why I moved it out. I'll just hit Control 3 again, and it pops me into side mode, side view, but on the other side that we're traditionally running with. And then I'm just going to deal with this half of the model right here. Okay, so all right, let's just jump into it. Let's just dive nugs first into this. So I'm going to Shift A to add a cylinder. Okay. Here's my cylinder right there. I'm going to scale this considerably. Grab it on the Z to move it up. Right there. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm going to scale it even more like that. Now, normally the teeth extend about, I think it's to the center of the eye, or the beginning of either the beginning of the eye or the center of the eye. I can't remember. Anyone who specializes in anatomy, jump into the comments or send me an email. And then let's scale this on the Z, like that, scale it in a little more. And then I see it here, but I don't see it here, which means we're probably going to need to move this up. So let's grab it on the Y, like that. And this is a cylinder. We're going to call this teeth. Probably need to specify further and call it upper row, but for now, let's just call it, I'm going to call this material pearly whites. Grab this back along the Y again a little more, and then bring it up to where the teeth meet the gum line, and then rotate it a bit. Kind of like that. Bring it up a little bit more, and then maybe forward a little bit more. Okay, so we have this here. Let me hit period there, and then hit Control 3. So you have that view, and then this view here. How are we doing? We want to get a little MacGyver going with, let's select this face and this face here, and we're going to inset these sons of guns with I. Okay, and this is how we make the chiclet of our teeth. And then we're going to delete the faces. Very important, the faces, not the verts or anything like that. And then with edge, select selected we want to pick two, and we want to make sure they match. That's really kind of important. Okay, like if you pick this one and this one, that's going to be weird. So you like that one, these two, and then if you hit F, you're going to get an angle. So I'm going to control Z out of that. You want to select an edge, and then you want to make sure you select its corresponding edge, and then hit face to get that full mark. And then if you select one edge and just hit face and hold face, you can fill in all the other ones very, very quickly. And just like that, we have the makings, the trappings, the trimmings of some teeth. And you can see in our mouth right here, we got a row of teeth. Right? Like right there. Okay? Might be opposite. I think we can, this object, I'm going to bring this forward a little bit more. Maybe up. Maybe rotate. I think that's too much. See, this is why it's good to have two views, because this view looked fine, but this view is like, oh no, that's crazy. We come in the front. Another thing here, let's scale this on the Z just to shrink that a little bit. And then we can bring this down almost to the point where it's touching the bottom lip, but not quite touching the bottom lip. Okay. And now we want to here, let's bring this in on the X, a scotch. Okay. And now we can delete some of these teeth because we don't need all of them. So if anyone knows which teeth, how many teeth we need, here, hang on, let me just count the teeth in my head real quick. Okay, I had 7 on 1/2, and I've had my wisdom teeth removed. That is where my wisdom went. I was wondering where I left it. So I guess in theory, if we had 14 teeth, make a top row. But also, I don't know. Maybe I was off. Maybe I was missing one. Maybe my teeth are weird. You know. I don't know. I'm not here to judge you guys. We do though. I know we say we're not here to judge, but everyone judges all the time. I'm judging you right now. So let's go to, how about we go into solid mode, and let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Great. So we'll include this one in our deletions. And what fresh L is this? This. I think. There we go. So now if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, we can delete this one as well. Okay? But I knew in my heart of hearts that it was going to take off the first one and the just delete the face. And I think it may have gotten rid of the one. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, I think we got 14 teeth. I think we have a top row of teeth. Correct anatomy. Any anatomy students? Anatomy students? I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm just going to close off these edges real quick so you don't think the teeth are hollow. Let's see. We need to add a mirror modifier now. Let's shift select these guys. Faces. There we go. Delete faces. Select the object, add a mirror modifier. You've done this a bunch. Mirror modifier is old hat to you in clipping. You betcha. Clipping is turned on. Okay, a couple things. We're going to tab back into edit mode, go into wireframe mode, and then I want to select this edge loop for my front tooth right here, okay? My front tooth, the thing about front teeth is that they are always bigger, okay? Front teeth are always bigger. So I don't want to select just one single edge. I want to alt click to select the entire edge loop. Okay, and then I want to grab it along the X and make it a little bit bigger. How big is up to you. That's obviously way too big. That's tiny. But the front tooth is in human primate mammals. It's a primate feature. It's just a tiny bit bigger. And then I think I'm gonna add. I don't know if I'm gonna add the incisors. But that is definitely when evolution was like, all right, y'all need to chew some meat and bite into some stuff, so we're going to give you some fangs. And then now, let's go into object mode and Shift S and go cursor to selected. Okay, right here. So we want to scale this toward the 3D cursor. All right, so our molars are bigger than our front teeth. It's for chewing plants. Okay, but we have our transform pivot point as individual median point. We don't want that. We want it as the 3D cursor. So this is the pivot point around which we're going to transfer. So when we scale, it comes right in to that point. Okay, we talked about this earlier. I'm going to escape out of that. I'm going to turn proportional editing and see what that does. Scale a little bit. No, that's too wonky. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to scale a tiny bit, tinier than that. And now I'm going to shift click and scale in a little bit more, like that. And then I'm going to shift click and scale in a tiny little bit more, like that. Okay. And this makes our molars thicker than our incisors. What are these? Bicuspids? Cuspids and bicuspids. I don't know. Any dental hygienists in the audience? Is there a dental hygienist in the audience? It's not a question I ask every day, but if there is, hey man, put in the comment section. Send me a note. I'll be curious to learn. Evolution of teeth is just a fascinating subject. Okay. Everybody save your work. Okay, let's get one more up in this beast. We're going to shift click and then scale that toward that. Okay, now we got our big teeth taken care of. I wonder if we even rotate that around. No, I'm going to escape out of that. Okay. Now, let us create some space between our teeth, right? I'm going to hide the head right quick, like that. And let's go alt with edge selected, selected. We're going to alt click around that, shift alt click, and just get all of the edge loops in our world. Okay, now let's bevel. So you can either go, I think it's Control B to bevel, okay, and pull that in. I'm going to escape out of that. Or if you have your toolbox up with T is the shortcut to pop these tools up. You can just very easily go click bevel. Okay, I'm going to pull bevel just a scotch, and then I'm going to roll my mouse, my middle mouse up one. Again, another reason you want to have that middle mouse. Look at all this stuff. Just in this video alone, I've showed you 2 different things we do with the middle mouse. This is why it's a very valuable tool in the 3D Animators toolkit. So I've pulled on our bevel just a scotch, like that, and then I've rolled up one just like that. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we want to select all of these, and do you see what we're doing? We're going to make, let me shift alt click this, we're going to make the spaces in between the teeth, y'all, one at a time, okay? So I'm going to alt click all of them, and then I'm going to scale like that, and that's the center that I wanted, okay? And you see you get the the divot of the tooth, and then there's some space in there. Perfect. Alt-click again, scale along bounding box center, like that. Same thing, Alt-click. Oh, no, not that one. Alt-click this one. Scale it in. Bounding box center. Same thing here, Alt-click. Scale it in. Bounding box center. Same thing here. Alt-click. Scale. Bounding box center. Alt-click. Scale. Bounding box center. Outstanding, you guys. And there you go. And now we have some even grooves all along the teeth ridge. Outstanding. Looking sharp. Let's take care of this one back here. Let's just add a loop cut like that. Bring this here. And then just bring this up. Like that. Okay, cool. There's also the front tooth. It's not just a straight bar between these, right? So we need, now you can have a big, buck tooth if you want to. My character is not going to have big old buck teeth, but if you want to, like this one should be the most subtle out of all the ones you scale, just a tiny little bit. Like even that might be too much. Scale just a scotch. Okay. This one is good. These right here, if you want, you can add a loop cut just to give them some shape. Like that. And then you can come in here and grab this and just bring it down a little bit like that. And then same thing here, if you want to get that canine, like that, you can grab this here, this edge. All I did was add a loop cut with Control R, and now I'm just bringing this down a tiny little bit. If your character is a vampire, go ahead, man. There's your fangs, just like that. Vampires are great characters, y'all. I get it. I understand that. It's just, it's a cautionary tale that warns against the wish for immortality, right? It's the same curse as Dorian Gray. Just an absolutely beautiful story, but at the same time, I get it, the human side of it, just a man who wants to be loved and, destroys everything he touches. So there's that to it as well. Anyway, if you want to make fangs, just grab and pull down. I'm going to escape out of that, and we're going to continue. Let's see. Let's add another loop cut along this side, like that, just to add a little more. Because do we have a subdiv surf on here? Now we do. There we go. And that's the kind of bend we're looking for, right? Okay, right. So this looks great on the bottom. We do want to flatten this up on the top, though. So let's select everything up here. All right. Shift click this, shift click this, shift click that. I'm coming in. Shift this as well. Okay, we got everything. Let's yeah, okay, cool. So if you hit Shift E, you can essentially nullify the subdiv surf on one side. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm like making these go straight up into the head, so you can clearly see that one side is the top side and the other side is, the formation of our teeth. You with me? And then I think if we scale this on the Z at 0, it flattens completely. Yep. So scale on the Z at 0. So now we can clearly identify the tops of our teeth that go into our skull, and then the bottom parts of our teeth around which our head hangs out, right? So there's some teeth here. And we're probably going to need to, I think we need to bring this rub this on the Y a little bit more, like that. So this is probably way, see how it just extends much beyond the mouth? Let's scale this in on the X, like that. Okay. We'll come back to Control 3 here. And how are we doing here? Looking sharp. And then we want to lock these in, so we go Control A, and we want to scale the deltas, okay? Okay, are you ready to duplicate? All right, so we did the top row. Great, now let's do the bottom row. So if we go Shift D, right there, now we made a duplicate copy. We're going to enter to lock it in, scale it on the Z, -1, and then flips it, just like that, which is really just a slick trick, Mangus. G to grab on the Z and bring it down on the Z, like that. And now we got a bottom row of teeth. Quick and easy, but we want to scale it in. Bottom row teeth is always a little bit smaller than the top row teeth. Don't know why. Probably evolution's got its reasons, but that's just a thing that is. Okay. This might need to, I think both of these need some scale on the X to get that a little wider out there. Okay. Nice. Look at you. And then up here, just to take care of some tidying up, teeth, upper row. Teeth. Bottom row. Okay. Bring this down on the Z and just set this up right over top of them very gently. Oh, that might be too much. Bring this up on the Z a bit. Rotate it like that a bit. Bring this up on the Z a bit to meet it. Like that. I wonder if this should be scaled on the Y. Like that, and then grab it back on the Y. Like that. Okay, let's see what happens when we bring the mirror back on. Alright, scale on the X. There we go. Now we're taking up the mount. There we go. That seems accurate sizing. Like this. Scale on the Z like that. And then Y feels like the Y's got it. Then let's just grab on the Z to bring it down a little bit. Like that. Okay. Teeth. Nicely done. We got some teeth. Everybody save your work. Get up, get a stretch, get a bend, and I'll see you in the next one.